Is this really the last chance before Bitcoin and Ethereum make their biggest move of this cycle? In today's video, we're diving into some mind-blowing charts and on-chain data that could signal a massive breakout. If you're not paying attention, you might miss out on one of the biggest opportunities of this bull run. So with that said, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and let's get straight into it. We are starting here at the weekly time frame on the Ethereum chart, and as you can see here, we have been forming some kind of ascending triangle here, and you can see that we are making higher highs here, and we are getting a big bounce here recently 2 weeks ago, and with a long wick under and big volume here. So with this chart, you can see that every time we bounced off this trend line, we went up and tested the areas of 4,000 US dollars. So, do I think that we're going to go up to test 4,000 US dollars or even break this 4,000 US dollar level? A lot of things are pointing towards that, and I'm going to share that in this video. So, let's move on. We are going to look at Ethereum on the daily time frame also a little bit fast. And what we can see here is, I want you to look at this green line here in the middle. Every time Ethereum broke above this line or under this line, you can see that we had massive volatility. You can see here at the left, first time back in 2016 when we broke this line, we got a retest and we got massive upwards movement for Ethereum. And as you can see, we came down again and tested it. And you can see it's a lot of time. Here we went down and we just crashed when we went through and closed a daily candle under this important line here. And right now we are fighting with this same resistance here again. And the question is, if we break this, are we going to do the same move up to 4,000 US dollars here? This is pretty common to see that we have a falling wedge, and that the falling wedge breaks to the downside and then comes back as a fake out and go up here. So if you really want to be on the safe side here, you can actually wait until the price is above 3,000 US dollar, and you see that the daily EMA ribbon is about to flip bullish again. Or if Ethereum isn't ready here and we are just retesting the falling wedge pattern that we have above here, that we maybe are doing something like going up here, retest, and then going down and bouncing, then we need to look out for these two levels to accumulate more Ethereum, because we can see here clearly on the volume. You see this hammer candle that we had here with great volume. And you can see every time, as I said in the previous video here, every time we bounced off this falling wedge, you can see that we had a very big volume spikes. And you can also see on the unbalanced volume that we have a bullish divergence that is so significant. And that's telling us that the big players, the smart money are buying Ethereum heavily. I also wanted to share this important chart with you because it tells you a lot of things of what's going to happen. It a little bit confirms my analysis on the previous things I said in this video. And as you can see, this is the balance by holder value. And we are looking at the wallets that are owning 10K Ethereum to 100K Ethereum. And as you can see here to the right, you can see that since the bull run started, or the Bitcoin halving started, people have been accumulating Ethereum heavily. And you can see the white line, the price, that the price hasn't gone so far. But here in the end here, in the last couple of months, you can see that the smart money has accumulated a lot of Ethereum. And the most interesting thing that you should look at this chart, of course, it's no guarantee that history will repeat, but if we look at the last bull run here, you can see in 2021 we had here in January, and we can see that we had a big spike up like we have now here, that people were accumulating a lot of Ethereum. And look at the white line here. exactly after these big accumulation bottoms here. We are pretty much doing the same thing here. After that, we had a big pump of Ethereum up to 4K from under 1K dollars. So this is really the time to pay attention on Ethereum and don't snooze on it. We are also going to look here a little bit fast on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame, and we can see that it recently broke out of this symmetrical triangle here. And if you look at the Ethereum versus the US dollar, you can see that it broke a similar pattern. And you can see down here on the on-balance volume that the volume supports this breakout. And if you even go to the 1-hourly time frame, you can see that we got a significant amount of volume coming in on this breakout. However, there is a possibility that we are coming down and testing this previous resistance as support, and before we go up and probably meet the target up here. So from this place here, it's like 6% move against Bitcoin then. I also want to show you Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame, because I think it's really important to understand that Bitcoin is the king in the market. And if we see, for example, that Bitcoin is consolidating and maybe the altcoins are pumping, it's a pretty good signs for the altcoins. But if we, for example, would break this bull pennant that we are forming here on Bitcoin on the weekly time frame to the downside here, the possibility of the altcoins going down is like 100%. So it's really important to actually keep an eye on this chart here. And it's looking pretty bullish here for Bitcoin. As you can see, as I said, we had this bull pennant here, and the target, if we break to the upside on this bull pennant here, is around 138,000 US dollars. And one thing to remember here also is that maybe we see that there is a little bit more time here for Bitcoin to consolidate before it actually breaks to the upside here. Maybe it can take 2, 3, 4 more weeks here until it makes a decision. And that would be pretty good for the altcoins if they are trying to break out right now, because then Bitcoin probably will consolidate for 2 or 3 weeks here in this pattern, and the altcoins will shine for a while. Another important indicator that you should look at every day is the fear and greed index for the crypto market here. And as you can see, we are at 51 right now, and just last week we were at 43 with fear. And just a month ago, we had extreme greed over 77. And just to remember you, the last bull run when we topped out, we had a greed of over 90 to 95. So if you're asking yourself if this is the top of the bull run and we are sitting in 51 on the fear and greed index, I'm asking you to probably rethink that. And a pretty great sign that we are going to see higher prices for both Bitcoin and the altcoins in the near future here. Lastly, I also wanted to show you what Cynthia Lummis is tweeting. She's been consistently pushing for Bitcoin adoption and recently hinted at the idea of a Bitcoin strategic reserve for the US. Given her new position and how vocal she is, I truly believe we're going to see this happen. And when it does, it will likely trigger a massive wave of FOMO as institutions and governments rush to accumulate Bitcoin. This could really be one of the biggest moments in Bitcoin's history, the year of 2025. All right, everyone, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, so you don't miss out on what's coming in the future here. And don't forget, this Wednesday, I'm kicking off a 10 video series that's called Master the Market, where I will show you everything you need to know to read the charts like a pro and become a great trader. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. So subscribe now, turn on notifications, and I see you in the next one.